Good people YouTube, I'm the Watch Idiot, and I'm finally doing a state of the collection video. And yeah, I figured that this would be a good time to post a video like this, just because a whole bunch of new subscribers have come on board, and I'm just so happy that everyone has come on board. So I just want to give everyone a good sense of who I am as a watch collector. And I mean, obviously you can tell a little bit by the videos I've been posting, but yeah, I think it'll be interesting for everyone to see what else I've got. And of course, please do comment all your comments down below. What are your thoughts? What do you think about the collection? Yeah, and also I want to hear from what are your guys' favorite pieces in your guys' collections, and what kind of collection do you guys have? What do you collect and everything like that? I mean, it's so interesting to hear from everyone, and everyone's collecting philosophies and all that stuff over there. So that's why I feel like State of the Collection videos are so popular. It's just interesting to get a little bit of a insight into that person's mind, pretty much, because my collection is my life. So through this collection, you're kind of seeing what my life is all about, effectively. So yeah, just I want to know everyone over here a little bit better as well. And I'm gonna organize this video by brand, and then we're gonna move on to type of watch as we move along. So yeah, if you do want to take a look at something specific later on, it should be pretty easy to do so, and especially because we have all the chapters down over here, and you can check that out in the description as well. And of course, I just want to let you guys know that this isn't going to be my normal type of video, in that it's not going to be obviously a single review with a whole bunch of b-roll and stuff like that, because if I had to do all that b-roll for every single watch that I had, I think I would damn near collapse. Just keep that in mind, especially if you're a first-time viewer. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Tudor, and I have done videos on every single one of my Tudors over here. So if you want to get some more information on that and a little bit more details on what I think about them, go ahead and check out the other videos I did. This was my first Tudor, the Pelagos, and man, I mean, this is probably, I would say, my main keeper, as in if I had to cut down on everything somehow, this would be the one that would stay over here. So this is very special to me. My little blue bay over here, and I absolutely love this watch. However, I think the time has come to move away from it, and a big reason for that is because of this here watch, which I'm sure a lot of you guys who have been to this channel before know very well. And this is my 925, and yeah, I absolutely I love it, and really, there is rendered the blue bay almost redundant, just because, I mean, when I'm wearing this, there's almost no need for anything else. I just wish that I could have kept this as well, but I don't really think that this is a reasonable thing to do at this point, considering that's just pretty much collecting dust. Oh, and also just a quick heads up, a lot of you guys have asked about the straps that I have on these watches, and this one, and then this one over here, the Mocha on the 925, and all the links to every single strap that you see in this video, the ones I've been using for years, they're all in the description. Okay, so now on to Seiko, which is probably the biggest group of all of them, even after I've sold off a few of them. But yeah, so well, first off, let me just get the Citizen out of the way, just because I kind of couldn't fit it anywhere else. Here is the Pro Master Diver, and I mean, I absolutely love this one for so many reasons. I mean, this little detail is just so cool, having the ND limits over here. The quartz is amazing, the lumen is amazing, the feel is amazing, and it really is. This actually makes me feel more like it's a tuna replacement. Ever since I sold the tuna, this fills in that gap even more so than an SKX, despite what people say. But I'll probably be doing a video on this at some point very soon. But yeah, so there are a few that are out of the frame, and this one here is just one that I had for quite some time, ever since it was released. And the enamel blue dial on this, as you can see, the uneven surface over here, because it is a Grand Faux enamel, and it's absolutely incredible in the light. When you see it outside, is just such a vibrant blue, but then it also becomes super dark. I mean, just the intensity and the deepness of this is unreal, and I couldn't imagine, you know, an enamel being like this until I saw it in person, and my god, it's absolutely amazing. But I do feel like this might be on the way out, just because this really doesn't get worn very often, like at all. Like I probably wore this like twice in the past, I don't know how many years, so I do feel kind of bad. And so that gets me into my Alpinist, and this is a very special watch to me, just because this just makes me happy every single time I see it, and I feel like everyone just needs that one watch that just makes them happy. I mean, I just love the green, I love the gilt indices, even though I usually don't like gilt indices at all. I love the brushing on it and everything like that. It's just so comfortable, it just does everything that I want, and it's just a little bit different, and it just makes me happy. And so that brings me to my SKXs over here. So there's a 009 over here, 013, and then the SKX over here that I might modded very lightly, put on a steel bezel with a steel insert over here, and I absolutely love this one, with obviously with the Uncle Seiko strap over here. But yeah, absolutely love this. It's super comfortable. I love that it has an Arabic day wheel, just because, once again, if you have seen my other videos on the SKXs and also on the Islanders that I did, I do mention that I absolutely love having interesting bilingual day wheels. So this is definitely one of the things that really makes this an incredible watch. We have the 013 over here and the 009 over here, and both of these have Spanish day wheels, and both of them are Jubilee, just because it is that comfortable. And this is actually the original 007 bezel that it bleached, and it does look a little bit darker in real life than it does here. But I absolutely love the look of it. It makes it feel like super old school, and as if it's like just been found on a beach. And this one is just like, the size is just incredible. I did try to bleach this one, but it just barely worked for some reason. I don't know what they did. And of course, here is my Marine Master 300, and I absolutely, obviously, I love this one. I did an entire video on this one, so yeah, go ahead and check that one out. It's just unlike anything else, and it's an experience unlike anything else. Okay, now on to Omega. My Speedmaster was the very first historically significant watch, I guess I could say. I mean, this is the Speedmaster is a Speedmaster. Yeah, I mean, this one was really special to me, just because I'd wanted one for a long time, and obviously I wasn't expecting to see this when I first got it over here, and I thought I was gonna get the Hesalite one. But I mean, when you see this case back and you see this movement over here, I mean, it's pretty much impossible, at least for me, to have you know, to say no to this one, just because, man, I mean, it just looks insanely good. And this is the X33 Skywalker, and this one's a little bit of a random one, just because I started reading up about it, and I read more and more and more and more and more, and then I finally wore one in person, and it was just unlike anything I've ever worn in my entire life. I mean, it just feels crazy light, and I mean, it's just an experience in and of itself over here. So I mean, I just had to go for it, and this one just makes me feel so special. It makes me feel like I'm an astronaut, and I know exactly what I'm going to be wearing when Elon Musk calls me up and says that it's my time to go up into space. So it's going to be actually both of these are going to double wrist of these ones over here. So yeah, here are my Grand Seikos, and these are, God, I mean, these are just incredibly special to me, and especially this one over here. This is the SBGT 241, the 25th anniversary of the 9F movement. And this one, I mean, I saw the bracelet on it, I absolutely loved it. And then finally in London, when I was visiting family over there, I went to the Seiko boutique over there, and they were absolutely incredible people over there, and they happened to have this one. I wasn't planning on buying one, but I did have money saved up, and I wore it. I wore this incredible bracelet, and I just saw it in person, saw the dial and the incredible quartz movement in this one, and I just knew that I had to get it. And yeah, I mean, this particular one has as you can see over here, the little star, which signifies that this is regulated to 5 seconds a year, which is insane, but in real life it's probably doing less than a second a year. This one over here, the SBGA 387, I saw this for the first time online when it was first released, and I was like, oh, that looks stupid, who would get a light blue dial? But yeah, I saw this in person, and I was completely taken by it. and especially when you look at the details of the dial and all the different angles that you can, and all the textures of it, and oh man, I mean, I got to do some macro shots on this at some point, but yeah, I mean, when I saw this one, I had to get it. And basically, whenever there is a special occasion of any sort, this is the watch that I'm wearing. Oh boy. Okay, let's time to move on. Okay, so on to my G-Shocks, and there's more coming up over here, but these are just like the well, this is a little bit of a random one over here, the Nike one, but yeah, this is the watch that I used to wear way back in the day in like 6th grade or something like that. I just remembered how amazing of a watch it was, and I didn't have it anymore, so a few years back I just looked it up on Google, and there it was. I mean, and there was one on eBay, and I snatched it up really quick. I probably overpaid for it, and I just love the design of this. I mean, it holds up to this day. I mean, it's an incredible looking watch, and I just like having it just because this is, you know, just like a, you know, the first watch that I now remember that I absolutely love the design of, and I still do. So it's a little bit of a throwback to my watch kid days. Yeah, so this particular G-Shock I got in 2015, and this was my first G-Shock that I ever got, and this was before I went to Peru for a week to Machu Picchu and all those other places over there. So yeah, I mean, this is obviously way too big for me. I mean, I didn't really actually wear it very much over there, but yeah, it got me into G-Shock. So that gets me into my squares over here, the G-Shock squares, and I got this one over here on the left a little bit after getting the first G-Shock, and these always end up being those slightly random purchases. I had a little credit card cash back available to me that I didn't know about, so I kind of just spent money, that kind of money I feel like you kind of have to spend on something that you really wouldn't have bought. I just kind of wanted to try out, you know, the classic square, and there it was. I didn't really wear this that much, but I started wearing this one over here a couple 3 weeks back, and now I cannot stop wearing these G-Shocks. And I mean, literally for the past 3 weeks I haven't worn anything but G-Shocks other than my 925 a few times sprinkled in over there. And here we are to the DW6900, and I got this one right after I started obsessing over G-Shocks a few weeks ago. And I got this one just because I wanted to get the other classic G-Shock look, which this definitely was, and I still remember this from when I was a kid. And yeah, I mean, I still also wanted a G-Shock that was a little bit different, because I feel like G-Shocks should be a little see-through, but not too bold. I mean, it is still gray, but a little bit of pop of color, which is orange. So this was pretty much a perfect G-Shock for me to get, and it was about 70 bucks or something. That, once again, with a little bit of a cashback action going on over there. And this one over here, I literally got this morning just because there was a sale on Amazon, and it was also overnight shipping, and you pretty much can't say no to that. And this one I got for $30. I just had to get it. I just love the little pops of colors all over the place, that, I mean, I'm now obsessing over this one over here. So yeah, these are not going to be the last of my G-Shocks, that's for sure. Okay, and so now into, I guess I kind of clumped these ones together because these are, I guess, my, you know, entry to mid-level Swiss watches, I guess. Yeah, I mean, let me just get this one out of the way, just because I have done a video on this, well, 2 videos on this one. And yeah, it's my Tissot PRX, and I love this one. I love this one. At one point I was thinking of selling it just because I wasn't wearing it very much, but I mean, it's so hard to do it, just because, I mean, it's so much fun to wear, and the price was amazing. And then also, I'm still holding out for some rubber straps that'll come out for it, and I ranted about that in my last video. Here we go. This is my Hodinky limited edition Oris Divers 65, and I managed to grab one of 250, and I absolutely love it. I mean, the links are just so thin on this one. It wears so well. In real life, it does not look nearly this gray. I wish it did look this gray all the time, but it does look a lot warmer and almost a tinge of purple almost over here when you see it in other lights. But yeah, I mean, I love this combination. I mean, if you guys have seen my other videos, you know I love gray, and that's why I love my 925 so much. So this one was kind of a no-brainer as far as Diver 65s go. And over here is my Zodiac Super Sea Wolf GMT, the Sherbet GMT, and this one was a bit of a random one, just because when this first got released, I remember telling my friend that oh man, this looks so good, but I know that this is a watch that I would love to own, but I know I just wouldn't wear very much. And and then eventually, and then it got all sold out as it usually does. And then eventually I was just looking for a watermelon, and I saw that this one was available on their website, and apparently it wasn't, and you know, back and forth on this and that over there, and then I had to return my money. Then randomly there was another dealer who had one, and they let me know that they had one, and I just kind of had to scoop it up. I love wearing this one, just because once again, it's just one of those watches that just makes me happy. I mean, it's just so different from everything else that I own, and I love having a GMT function. It is just so fun and unique, and this bracelet is amazing as well, and this looks insanely good on a gray strap as well. Originally I saw the Ollech Wajs, the C1000 when it got released, and I was like, oh my god, that bracelet looks insanely good. But at the time I was like, you know what, I don't really necessarily need another diver. Then I saw this one on their website, and I was like, ooh, that's interesting, but I didn't quite like the black bezel. But months later I was still thinking about this watch non-stop, and I did end up getting it, you know, regardless of, you know, resale and all that stuff over here, which would be tough on this one. But this is just such an enjoyable watch that I just had to get it, and this is probably one of the best bracelets I've ever worn in my life, and it's just so comfortable, and it's just so different, and it's something to look at every single time that I see it. Let's get into the Microbrands over here. So starting off with Islander, this is the ISL 69, the ISL 27, and I've done videos on this if you want to get more information on either one of these. And yeah, it's super enjoyable, and actually, as you can see, I made this into a sort of a Doxa mod over here, and while still keeping the Seiko feel with this bezel and then also the dial over here. But this is just so much fun to wear on an Uncle Seiko beads of rice. This one is just such a fun watch to wear, despite it being a little bit of a heavy watch, but either way, still love the dials on these. And here is my Laurier Hydra Series 2, and this was one of the very first videos I did on this channel. Still love wearing this one, still don't wear it. Unfortunately, as of late, I haven't been wearing it very often, especially with all the G-Shocks, especially as of late, and then also my 925. Okay, and here is my Zelos Swordfish 40, the teal one, and I did a video on this also, so check that out if you want more information. But yeah, it was really fun to wear, and also I ended up getting it for $280, and yeah, definitely a whole lot of value for it. And here is my Dan Henry 1972, I believe. Yeah, 1972. This was a bit of a random buy. I had been seeing Dan Henry for quite some time, and this one really caught my eye just because I am a big fan of the Porsche Rafina watches, but I ended up getting it just because it is a quartz, and it has an alarm too. This one's just really fun to wear because, I mean, this bracelet is unbelievably comfortable, and this is actually the only watch that I have that truly feels vintage, just because this design doesn't really exist anymore, as opposed to dive watches, you know, as you know, vintage inspired that they may be, but that effective style has continued on for, you know, decades. But this particular style is so unique to the time that I was born in. And here are my Lesablier Sport Classics, and these ones are really special to me because one of my best friends, and definitely my watch best friend, he actually started this brand, and I saw it, you know, grow from right near the beginning, and I bought these two. It's just super different, and it's super fun to wear, especially on this one over here. Okay, and finally here is my Visitor Linden Larkspur, and yeah, absolutely love this watch. I mean, it's obviously very different from all the other watches that I have, and yeah, I mean, you know, really came about from when I actually met Phil at District Time. So there you have it. That is my collection, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, taking a little peek into my world. I mean, actually more than a peek, because my watches are pretty much my life. So taking a look into my life over here. So as I mentioned before, please do comment down below with whatever you enjoyed, whatever your favorite watches are from your own collections, because I think it's also really interesting to be looking to find out, you know, what other people have in their collections and which watches mean a lot to them. If you enjoyed the watches in the video and you want to get more information on something, do check out my channel, just because there's a lot of videos on the watches that I've done already in there. So yeah, either way, as always, please do hit the like button. That helps me a lot. And also hit the subscribe button, just because that also does help me a lot. And also we might be just crossing over the 2,000 mark right now, or we already have, and then we'll be onwards into the future from over there. So yeah, until the next video, good day.